in some cases, like in this case, an aspect of, a non-aspect of our design culture, and then try to look at it through the lens of our introversion lens. And so one of the groups chose the theme of research. One of the groups chose a theme, and if I'm saying this incorrectly, then they'll correct me later. Another group, it was sort of around like framing problems and, or this idea of solving problems in front of design, or maybe even instead of design. And then our group chose the idea of a, well, that NCSU is not a fine arts program. So we introverted that by thinking of ourselves as a fine arts program, and created this mock art show, right? To sort of explore the idea of what that means and why it is that we're not that. And so basically we didn't really plan anything, we didn't coordinate, we just kind of used it as a sort of a free expression event, which is not something that we would normally do. Or this idea of like the designer is lone genius, make whatever you want, and we'll speculate on it later and everything will work out. So we ended up with a lot of weird stuff, and that's cool because it's something to talk about. But for my submission, I created this book on tape, which is like literally like a physical enactment of like a bad pun. But I thought it was kind of an interesting object, and then I think, at least for me, what I learned in this process was just that I had a really difficult time just leaving it there. Because the idea was I was just going to throw this thing up on a like on a pedestal and be like, oh look, it's a piece of art, and you guys are supposed to speculate on what it means, and I don't have to tell you anything. But I ended up wanting to create some kind of story around it. I had a difficult time just, I needed to create some kind of reasoning for it or some kind of storytelling around it. So then I created this poster, and it's this idea that it's been beamed here from another dimension. It was 3D printed, and then I made up fake quotes around what people might be saying about it. Again, just to inform like what the object is. So that's sort of what my submission was about.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, there it is. So I made a poster where I asked everybody in our grad program if introversion was an animal or an object, what would it be? And the first thing that they said, whether it was something like a trumpet, I just drew up and went with. And so everything from octopus to two people thinking unicorns, cat, sheep, zebra, everything like that. But just imposing that onto the Mr. Wolf, our mascot.
So I did a 3-poster series that I collected. I'm always collecting things or seeing what happened, but throughout the years I've had textures, metals, whatever, and I decided just to combine everything of what I had and only using what I had to build some posters and having them not be anything, that they were just something, an outlet for them to be creative, I guess.
And I did a drawing. It started off as just a blank contour in the mirror, and then I went in and just like drew on top of what I did. So it was just like a quick 10 to 15 minute thing that I threw together.
And then our artist statements were supposed to be short because we feel like we over-explain things, especially in critique. We feel like we have to sit there and talk. So having the other way around, where we only have 140 characters to try to describe what we just created.
So if anyone has like comments or general questions for the group.
I have a question. So why did you limit yourself to what was it about the time for doing yours?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of what happened. Like I didn't need to elaborate on it further. I just went with it.
So was that part of your approach then, as an antithetical design approach, or is that an idea about how artists might approach work?
Yeah, probably the artist part. I don't know. It felt really good to do it. Because now I just kind of because I don't really draw a lot and
you guys like working with this? Was it satisfying or frustrating?
I found it really frustrating because I wanted it, like, I think when we came up with the idea, we thought, oh, this is gonna be easy. We'll just make stuff, you know, how cool is that? I don't have to like overthink it. But then, because, I don't know, I guess for me, because it was gonna be in this context, it really wasn't as simple as that. Because it's an art show, but it's not really an art show. It's an art show in the context of this, right? And it's an imaginary art show. So still trying to do that and get some kind of learning out of it was, I don't know, ended up being kind of tricky. So for me, I found it was like a little bit, I don't know. I think I tend to overthink things anyway. So just letting the thing be what it was and not overthinking it was difficult for me. Maybe it was different for other folks here. But.
Well, we had it originally structured, we were going to do an unsponsored, sponsored project. We never do sponsored projects. We were going to actually make a free design for a company and send it to them and have this whole display. So it was very structured, I think, our first idea. And then we decided to scrap it all as soon as we got back and just do whatever. And it's that problem of when you can do whatever you want, it's almost harder than if somebody tells you what to do. So I think that was the hard part, was figuring out what the heck we were going to do for our individual pieces, but still have it coming back together at the end.
Yeah, I think with me, faculty can say this, is that I don't make as quickly as I should, so I was kind of prolong it. Everyone's like, oh, read this article, let me read some more, let me like diagram this. So it's just like, nope, you need to make something in one day and go for it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like a big takeaway, and I think we put this in our description, was just that. I mean, we're not condemning the idea of like just making stuff for the sake of free expression or just for the sake of learning something or using, making for research. All that stuff is great. But I think the idea was just at NCSU we were trying to sort of say that this is something that when we practice that way, it's as like a means to an end, not an end in and of itself. Like if we're doing stuff like that, it's usually for the purposes of learning something from it, not just I made it, do you like it, and that's it. It's a means to an end, I guess.
And I wish like our projects always have many more questions after that. Like after we learn something, it's just like, oh well, that brought more questions of like why with what we created. But now it's kind of like, no, this fits in this hamburger.
Question. So, you're saying that normally when you make design work or what you consider the normative design condition, that opens up discourse, but this stuff is shutting down because it's more of an art context?
I think it's normally our approach, we spend a lot of time framing a problem before we start making stuff. I mean, we might make stuff in order to like inform that problem as we're going along. But no, I don't think these things are closed discourse at all. I mean, we could talk about any one of these things probably for a while and have like an interesting conversation. So does that answer your question, or do you want to ask it again?
Well, I just find it, it sounds like an interesting project. I just find it ironic that the way that you framed it, you made no reference to like the Graphic Design Now exhibition, which is graphic design in a museum context, as, it's signed off as the artist. And it kind of called into question then the curatorial contribution that Alan Lupton and Andrew did. When they have those cards, you have to ask yourself, is that the artist's intention or is that the curator's interpretation? And the way that you guys have been framing your discussion, it's like, oh, it's always just the artist. There's never any external meaning that's been applied to it or interpreted because I'm just doing it. I heard a lot of justs, in almost a very dismissive way. That's why it's kind of interesting that you don't mention graphic design.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Again, it's not, it isn't a condemning of that as a practice. It's just saying, I'm just, as part of like part of our culture at this school, I mean, I think that we feel that it's more, again, it's sort of it's a means to an end, it's not an end in and of itself. So, yeah, does anyone else want to